Cairo Jordan's family members are still coming to terms with the news the 5-year-old was killed.
And as this happens, police are explaining how they got to this point in the investigation. Here to explain what happened over the last 6 months is Danielle Zulkowski. Danielle.
It took Indiana State Police over 6 months to release the names of the victim and the suspects in the murder case of 5-year-old Cairo Ahmad Jordan, who was found in a suitcase in southern Indiana in April. Investigators say while 6 months feels like a long time, in an investigation of this nature, that was relatively quick.
People need to remember it's not like a CSI TV show. Things don't happen in an hour's time.
Cairo's body was discovered on April 16th, but police did not share his identity until October 26th. Sergeant Hull says it took months to collect and process the evidence to identify him and the suspects.
It actually moved relatively quickly in many regards because 6 months ago, we had nothing other than what was in front of us. No witnesses, no family, no anything to say who this young child was.
Police had to do DNA testing and run the fingerprints that were found on the trash bag the boy's body was wrapped in.
Just because it's not the antiquated days of, for example, fingerprints that used to be all done on paper, but it can still take a lot of time for things like that to come back. Any process that involves testing, even though our labs are very high tech, it still takes time for those processes to take place.
Hull says investigators had to slowly build this case one piece of evidence at a time.
We have to start with the physical evidence. So, whatever you can get. Physical evidence left behind at a scene can leave, traces of whatever. Footprints are left behind. Tire prints are left behind at crime scenes.
Hull says it's a long process to gather data from credit cards, social media, and other sources. Before they even get the information, they can spend weeks or months writing search warrants and waiting on companies to collate the data.
You may have to comb through days, weeks, months of data to find out one item that you're looking for. And in the case of this investigation, we had several different detectives looking at a lot of different pieces of data.
Sergeant Hull says Indiana State Police have received numerous tips about Anderson's whereabouts, but say it's highly unlikely she is in those areas. He reminds everyone if you believe you have spotted her to first call your local authorities so they can respond immediately. In the newsroom, Danielle Zulkowski, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.